Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel At Home with Chelle and to another foodie video. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 delicious and super easy breakfast ideas. As some of you guys know, I am trying to follow Slimming World, but I also kind of calorie count as well, just so I can hit a calorie deficit as much as possible. So I know it can be really difficult thinking what to have for breakfast, and I've made a bit of a switch recently from, I just used to have like a lot of cereal and stuff for breakfast, and now I have quite different breakfast. I feel like I am basically full until lunchtime more recently. I'm trying to get a bit more protein into my breakfast, and yeah, I just don't snack nowhere near as much, and I feel a lot less kind of bloated as well. So I thought I would share with you some ideas. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of days where I will have cereal. I mean, I say cereal, but I mainly have like porridge and things. But these are 5 different ideas that hopefully you will find really useful as well. I will show you how to make everything, and then I will list the quantities that you need for the 5 breakfasts and all of the nutritional information and everything in the description box down below. So hopefully you enjoy this video. If you do, then please do give it a thumbs up, and if you're new, then I do post quite a lot of foodie content, so would love for you to subscribe. Some of you may know that I also have a foodie kind of Instagram page. I'm not that great at uploading on it. I do try when I remember, but there's loads of meal recipes on there, some breakfast, lunches, and they're all kind of Slimming World friendly and list all of the calories as well. So that's Eat Well Not Less _UK if you want to check that out and then make anything over there as well. So but anyway, let's get started in this video. So the first breakfast I wanted to share are some pancakes. These are delicious, and they're made a little bit healthier and higher protein by actually mixing in cottage cheese, which you might think sounds a bit weird, but honestly, these pancakes are delicious. I have been eating these on repeat for ages. They're super easy to make, and just, yeah, keep me really full. Arabella absolutely loves them as well, and I just serve them with some yogurt and fruit, but you can kind of serve them with whatever you want. And these come in at 209 calories for the entire serving, and it's a huge portion that you get as well. And if you're following Slimming World, they are 3 syns and half your healthy extra B for the oats that you're putting in. So these cottage cheese protein pancakes come in at 209 calories and contain 12 grams of protein per serving. So this is just enough to serve 1. Obviously, if you want to do 2, then just double the quantity. So you'll need a couple of tablespoons of cottage cheese, a heaped tablespoon of plain flour, a couple of tablespoons of oats, a teaspoon of baking powder even. I'm just going to add some lemon zest as well, but completely optional, and then some kind of sweetener, so I'm going to add in a teaspoon of honey. Then to serve, I've got some Greek yogurt and some fruit. So into the bowl you want to add couple of tablespoons of the oats, spoon of plain flour, teaspoon of baking powder, 1 egg. I can't remember if I said the egg in the ingredients actually. Put an egg in there, and the cottage cheese. So a couple of tablespoons of cottage cheese. I'm just using the fat-free one in there. Teaspoon of sweetener, so I'm just adding in some honey, and then just grating the rind from some lemon. Then I'm just going to blend this up, or mix it up, put it in a mixer, blender. I'm just going to use a mini food processor. So once it's at a smooth consistency, I'm just going to leave that for about 5 minutes just to firm up. What I do sometimes do is just make a couple of batches like this and then just keep some in the fridge so I can just pour it straight out the fridge. It will easily stay in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. So you then want to put a large saucepan on just with some spray oil in there, and then I'm just going to dollop in basically 3 portions. Cook these for around 2 to 3 minutes, and then once they feel a little bit firmer, then you can flip them over and then again cook on the other side for around 2 to 3 minutes until they kind of feel like light and springy to touch. They're now pretty much done. So then you can have whatever you want with them, like peanut butter, or I'm just having some fat-free natural yogurt on them. So just dollop that, not all over the plate, dollop that on there, and then some fresh kind of berries and fruit and stuff. So there we have it, fluffy cottage cheese pancakes with yogurt and fruit. This is such a filling, low-calorie breakfast. So you get all of that for just over 200 calories. Or you could have a bowl of cereal, which will probably set you back 400 calories, and you'll be hungry within an hour. Next up is a kind of breakfast pitta, and this is something that I generally do when I'm doing some meal prep. So I'll probably make it on a Sunday or a Monday evening or whatever, and then it will do me for breakfast throughout the week. Super easy to make, and then I can either keep them in the fridge and just heat them up as and when I want them for breakfast, or you can also freeze them as well. If you do freeze them, just make sure that you defrost them thoroughly before heating them up. So if I do freeze them, then I'll just get them out of the freezer the night before, and then I'll just pop them in the air fryer for around 5 minutes in the morning, probably a little bit longer, just to make sure that they are completely warmed through. These are absolutely delicious. They're something that I often eat if I'm on the go as well. So if I'm going into work or I've got meetings or whatever and I just need to grab something, then I'll just kind of take them with me. And these come in at, oh, I haven't wrote the calories out for this one. I'll put the calories on the screen, they're not on my notes, but I don't think it's many. And syn wise, they come in at 1 syn and your healthy extra B. These are all the ingredients that you'll need to make the chicken sausage pittas. So I'm using chicken sausages. I'm using the Hex Chicken Italia sausages. These are, they're really high in protein, low in fat. So how many calories are they? So for 2 chipolatas, only 68 calories. And I'm pretty sure these are about half a syn if you're following Slimming World. I'll then also add in a couple of tomatoes, a couple of spring onions, some baby spinach, and then serving them in the wholemeal pittas. So all I've done is just chopped the spring onions, tomatoes and the spinach. So when I've done the tomatoes, I've just also de-seeded them, and then you want to pop all of this basically into a bowl, and then I will add in the sausage meat. So to add the sausage meat, I'm just going to score down here so I can just basically remove it from its skin. Peel the skin away like so, and then add in the sausage meat. So I've also just added some salt and pepper to the bowl, and then just get in there with your hands and basically mix it all up together. So mix all of the sausage meat, and then essentially it's ready to just add into your pittas. So everything is well combined now with the sausage meat, so it's now time to stuff the pittas. So I'm just going to cut these in half, and then basically just open each half up a little bit. Okay. And then just add some of the sausage meat. So you want to fill them until they're about that full. So I've just filled all of the pittas, and this is made 3 whole pittas, so that will be enough for 3 breakfasts. And then what I'm going to do is just put these in a pan and just cook them for around 3 or 4 minutes on each side, and then transfer them to the air fryer and then cook them for a further 10 minutes in there. Both sides have been toasted, so this just helps keep the pittas a little bit firmer, because obviously you put in the raw meat in there, so you don't want them to go all soggy. And then I'm going to pop these into the air fryer for around 10 minutes just to make sure the chicken meat is now cooked all the way through. So these are completely done now, and these are absolutely delicious. So you can either obviously eat them straight away, or what I'm going to do is wait for them to cool down and then wrap them in some tin foil, and then you can either keep them in the fridge or you can pop them into the freezer if you want to keep them for a little bit longer. If you are reheating them from the freezer, make sure that they're completely defrosted. And then I normally just pop them into the air fryer in the morning for around 5 minutes to make sure they're completely reheated. Next are some overnight WEETABIX. I shared this in a what I eat in a day video recently. Again, this is something that I do eat quite a lot. If I am kind of eating cereal, I generally will have like porridge or WEETABIX. And then this is something that I will again make the evening before, and then it's just super easy to take with me, especially if I'm working from the office. And I've started to put like collagen into the yogurt as well. So this comes in at 269 calories, only half a syn on Slimming World, and plus using your Healthy Extra B for the WEETABIX. Add 2 WEETABIX to a bowl or dish like this, and then pour over a small bit of milk, crushing it with a fork. Then you want to add some yogurt. I'm using a Kvarg yogurt, but you can use any yogurt that you like. I also added in some collagen, which I have been using for about a month now, and can already feel a bit of a difference. I feel like I've got more energy, less kind of achy as well, and my skin seems a little bit more glowy. So I have left a link down below if anyone's interested, as would really recommend this brand. I will then leave that overnight in the fridge, and then in the morning top it with some berries and enjoy. Next up is something that I've actually just made for breakfast this morning, and it was absolutely delicious. Again, I've made variations of this a few times, and it's basically smoked salmon on sourdough bread with cottage cheese and like chopped tomato on there, and it's just so delicious. And I've swapped out having kind of normal bread now for sourdough bread, and I found a couple that are included as your Healthy Extra B on Slimming World, and I just find that they're quite dense and they keep me fuller for a lot longer than kind of normal bread. And when I've been doing a lot of research, the sourdough doesn't have as many kind of nasties in as normal bread. So yeah, I've switched my diet to kind of wholemeal sourdough now. So this comes in at 206 calories, and so I just have 1 slice. Obviously if you have 2, then you'll need to increase that. And then it's completely free if you're following Slimming World, and you can use your Healthy Extra B for one of the versions of sourdough that you can get, and then I just have it with a little bit of kimchi in the side, which is something that I've been trying to introduce into my diet more recently, just to try and improve my gut health. I've been doing a lot of research around kind of gut health and bloating, and like I said at the start of the video, since I've changed my way of eating, I definitely feel a lot less bloated. I wouldn't say I've necessarily lost a lot of weight. I've probably lost a little bit of weight, but yeah, I just feel so much better with myself. I don't feel as uncomfortable, and I feel like I'm sleeping better and not kind of reaching for as many snacks, I suppose. This is so easy to do. All you need to do is lightly toast the sourdough, then top with some cottage cheese, add some sliced tomatoes over the top, just seasoning with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then top that with a slice of smoked salmon. I've then also added some kimchi on the side to serve it with, which just gives it a nice little lift when eating it all together. And then lastly is slightly more calories, and this is Turkish eggs. So I have eggs quite a lot for breakfast, whether I'm having like an omelette or egg on toast, dippy eggs, whatever I'm having, eggs is a massive go-to for me. And this is a slightly different kind of egg breakfast, I suppose, and it's Turkish eggs, which is basically just soft-boiled eggs, which are delicious, and then put them on a bed of kind of garlicky yogurt, I suppose, and then I had a little bit of harissa butter, scoop it up with a toasted wholemeal PITTA, and it is just so delicious. Again, it keeps you so full for ages, loads of protein in there, just a really good start to the day. Another simple go-to breakfast of mine are Turkish eggs, and to make this you'll need a couple of eggs, some natural yogurt. I just use the fat-free yogurt, some harissa, a garlic clove, PITTA if you want to serve it with some PITTA, and some salt and pepper. So to make the eggs, I've got some boiling water on here, and then I'm just going to cook the eggs for exactly 6 minutes, and then I'm going to pop them in some cold water and then leave them in the cold water for 3 minutes, and you will get the most perfect boiled eggs. Alexa, time 6 minutes.
6 minutes, starting now.
Whilst the eggs are doing, I'll just pop the PITTA into the toaster, and I'm going to make the kind of yogurt base. So I'm just using a pasta bowl because it's bigger, but use a plate or bowl, whatever you want. And I'm just going to weigh out 100 grams of fat-free yogurt, and then into the yogurt add in the garlic clove. So I normally make this for 2, but I'm just making it for 1 this morning, so I'm just going to add in half the garlic clove because it's quite a big one. Okay, put that in there. You can add some like fresh dill or something as well. I might sprinkle over a little bit of parsley at the end, and then a little bit of salt into here. Give that a good mix around. So the eggs have been on for 6 minutes, and then what I'm going to do is just pop these into the cold water. Ideally you want to use ice water, but I haven't got any ice, so I'm just going to pop those in there and then leave those in there for around 3 minutes. I forgot to mention you'll also need a tiny bit of butter. You can leave this out. I'm going to use a tablespoon of butter in there. Try and get this out now. So that's just a level tablespoon of butter into a small saucepan just over a low heat, and then to that I'm going to add the harissa. So like I said, I'm just making this for me, so I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of harissa. Just heat that through until it kind of goes like foamy, warm and foamy, I would say. So your eggs should be done now. I'm just going to peel the eggs and then halve each egg and lay it on top of the yogurt mixture. So that you have literally the perfect soft boiled egg. Harissa mixture, just kind of spread it over the yogurt and the egg. Just making sure you scrape it all from the pan. For ease, I sometimes just pop this into a small bowl in the microwave. It's just as quick. Probably should have done that this time. Season with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then finish with a little bit of parsley over the top. Then got my pitta, which I've basically just chopped into some little fingers, and then you can enjoy that scooping up the yogurt, the garlicky yogurt with the egg, and that is just a delicious breakfast that's ready in no time. That'll keep you full until lunchtime. So they are the 5 breakfasts that I wanted to share with you today. Hopefully you've found this video really useful and you can kind of incorporate some of these breakfasts into your daily eating. If you do then and you make them, then please let me know your thoughts. I'm always really interested to hear. Yeah, and like I said, I do make quite a lot of foodie videos, so would love for you to subscribe if you're not already. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.